Okay, it's 405 southbound. We just went through just about Western, and take that back. We just went through Crenshaw. That was Crenshaw we just went through, approaching Western. Same setup here as we go along. But those are two CHP officers behind him now, and what they're going to do is hopefully they'll get in here and execute that pit maneuver. As soon as they get set up, they get their officers behind them. They'll wait till they have another CHP officer behind, because usually it's 3 units on a pit maneuver. And then I'm a little bit ahead of the pursuit. I'm trying to look back to see exactly what's going on behind it. And it looks like, yeah, Huntington Park has fallen way, way back. And they are really clear now. If they wanted to go ahead and do that pit, they could do this now without any problem at all. But yeah, CHP very used to these pursuits on the freeways as they go south on the 405, coming up on Western. At Western we're going over right now. And they're lining up behind him. So hopefully this is when they're going to jump in there and do the pit maneuver. Or as I look ahead, I see CHP units on the on-ramps ahead, as Cher was talking about, stationed ahead of this pursuit. And then sometimes the CHP will then get out on the freeway and throw those spike strips. They're exiting the freeway here. I believe this is Normandy that we're getting off on. Normandy we are right here getting off, and I'm going to have to make a quick turn here, so excuse me for if any skids go through the shot, but I have to turn around and stay away from the sheriffs. This is Western we're getting off on here as we turn, and he's coming off on Western. That puts him on to 190th, and it looks like we're westbound 190 from Western. So now we're in the north end of Torrance area as we come through here. As you see, very slow rate of speed. This will bring him back to the Prairie. Go ahead.
But this is also something that does become dangerous once he hits those surface streets, as we've seen before in many of these pursuits. You know, we've got pedestrians, we've got other cars that are unaware. Okay. When he was on the freeway, at least there was that traffic break, and there were people that, oh, it is a dead end. It looks like we're going to see the end of this.
To a dead end. So this is, yeah, he made a mistake by making that right turn. This put him into a little industrial park that backs up against the freeway. So this is going to put him into a dead end area here, just south or west of Western. So I'm going to have to work my way around here to get him.
2- or 3-story parking garage.
Yeah, he's behind the building, so I'm going to have to. Michael, let me send it to you so I can work with the other helicopters and try to get him behind this building here.
You bet. And it looks like this pursuit suspect made a tactical error here by pulling into a parking lot. Whether they let him out remains to be seen. We're trying to get around the building so we can get a clear shot of this. But this driver has not been driving erratically. He's not been putting other drivers of cars at great risk. And he seems a bit confused at this point to what it is he might want to do. You can't imagine that he would have done this intentionally, getting off the freeway there again at Western Avenue, then turning northbound on 190th right into this parking lot, what looked like a parking structure, perhaps an industrial complex area here on the edge of Torrance, just adjacent to the 405. And now he's making his way back out onto a surface street. And it doesn't look like there are any officers there at the exit of that parking lot. And so now he goes back out onto the street, and we'll see what he does here when he comes into the intersection with these other cars around, still driving very, very slowly.
Went right through that red light over there. There are some cops that are on the periphery there, as you saw on that corner, but still CHP, that's now the lead agency on this pursuit, not doing the pit maneuver just yet. Plenty of opportunity at this very low speed that he's going at, but for whatever reason, it's still not at that point where they've decided to do that pit maneuver. He ran a red light. He's starting to pick up some speed here now, and maybe we can go over to Tim Lynn and we can get the exact location of where the pursuit is headed now, where he is right now, rather.
Yeah, Sherry just went through Van Ness here, coming back up onto Crenshaw, and 5's going to stay on the south.
All right, and Tim will continue to follow this, winding through the streets of Redondo Beach now. This driver at relatively low speeds throughout this pursuit, the better part of an hour now. We've been following this. It originated in Huntington Park. We believe just the driver is behind the wheel of that red car, no other passengers in the car, just the driver on board that car. CHP now the lead agency in this pursuit. Huntington Park PD had been for some time up and down the 110, the 405, for a moment, we believe, on the 105. Again, this started in Huntington Park, no license plates on the car. Police department very suspicious, tried to make the stop, And then you have the story unfolding that we're watching here now through the South Bay.
And we just also got word, Micah, that CHP has been given the okay now to do the pit maneuver. We should be seeing that shortly because, as we have been saying, that they have had many opportunities throughout this almost hour that they've been following, not just the CHP, but Huntington Park Police, but that they have not been as aggressive as we would have expected them to be. As you were saying, that's because the commander probably has not given the okay. Well, CHP, we just got word, has the okay to do the pit maneuver.
They've had opportunities in the past, but of course that's at the discretion of the commander in charge. They're following orders here to a degree. Very challenging job for officers that are pursuing a suspect in a manner like this. Their adrenaline wants to get the best of them.
Just crossing over
so they're fighting not only their own adrenaline and their instincts, they're following orders to a degree. And so they have many challenges, emotional, physical, as they follow, but often you'll see them relinquish the lead car for another. I mean, you're giving guys breaks. You don't have the same guy behind the wheel right up against this pursuit suspect's bumper for the entire pursuit. But that is CHP there, the lead agency, and this is where the danger really kicks into high gear when they go through intersections like they are here. Fortunately, this driver, here you go. This is looking like he's about to ready to do a pit here as we go right into the freeway. Perfect timing. Not really, but there they go on the other side up. We see headlights spinning. There is a pit maneuver. Tim, if you can come with us, I believe we just saw the pit right there, the headlights spinning around just as they came out of the freeway.
Yeah, you got him as he went right on the freeway. I'm bringing Sky 5 around to a spot here where we can see this. You can see CHP has put him up there into the fence area as we come around, kind of set up here to the east. There you go, spun up onto the curb. And of course, again, put him right pit maneuver as they went underneath the freeway. Perfect spot for it. You have containments and things of that sort all the way around him. Now, CHP will wait and point their guns at him, hold behind their cars, and then give him verbal commands to come out. And then, as you see right there, CHP just holding off, doing the best they can to keep an eye on him. Very dangerous right now, not knowing what the guy's going to do. 5's holding off to the northeast. And you see right there, just poised. I'm going to hold right here as the CHP gets ready to do. CHP gets ready to do their extraction here, but they're not going to rush this at all. They're just going to sit there and get ready to take what comes. But you see all the CHP officers back there. That's the arrest team that's setting back, getting ready to move up. Those 2 officers up by the front door there, they're watching for any type of movement that may go on, and then start giving verbal commands to this guy to get out of the car. First thing they'll try to do is get him to toss the keys out. That will disable the car. So now the driver door coming open, appears to be complying with the CHP right now. Hopefully he gets out, puts his hands up, faces away from him, what he should do. But then the arrest team standing at the trunk lid of that CHP unit. You see the guy coming out, hands are up, and hands over the back of his head. It looks like he's stumbling around just a little bit there, so we may have a little intoxication going on. But you see there, he's leaning up against he leaned up against the front of the CHP car, but he keeps putting his hands down. That's one thing they don't want you to do, or don't want this guy to do, is to put his hands up. Now they're going to slowly move up to him. Obviously, he's not complying with their commands, and he's maybe intoxicated, but you see they're very gingerly putting the handcuffs on him and holding him there. So it looks like a good ending to a pursuit here. CHP finally pitting this guy as we went back up underneath the 405 freeway there on Artesia and taking him into custody. And as it looked like he was kind of stumbling around just a little bit there, so we may have an intoxicated driver as well as the other traffic violations that went on with this. But there he is. He's in custody, being taken back to the police car. So a successful ending to a pursuit here, ending in the Lawndale area.